Part 1. The unveiling of truth and reality. In the search for meaning, we begin by acknowledging that there is no singular path to understanding, but a multiplicity of layers, each feeding into the whole. Taoism, Kabbalah, and the ancient mystery schools each touch upon different facets of existence. These are not isolated traditions, but mirrors of the same universal truths, each one a fragment of a vast, interconnected web of cosmic wisdom. Taoism teaches the balance of the Tao, the ineffable force that moves through all things. In Kabbalah, we look to the Tree of Life, a map of divine emanations, guiding us from the unknowable source to the material world. These two teachings, though rooted in different cultures, both address the nature of the divine as something that transcends human understanding, but is still deeply present in the world we experience. They reveal that understanding is not found through accumulation of knowledge alone, but through the alignment of self with the universal flow. Moving beyond the mystical, the study of metaphysics and quantum mechanics challenges our understanding of the nature of reality itself. Quantum mechanics, with its notions of wave-particle duality, echoes ancient teachings about the unity of opposites, where light and darkness, substance and emptiness exist in a state of constant interplay. Just as in the Hermetic traditions, the principle of as above, so below reveals that the cosmic laws are reflected in the microcosms of our own existence. Astrology and astrology's connection to cosmic energy play into this view by showing how celestial bodies influence the earthly realm. The position of the stars and planets at our birth marks a cosmic imprint, a guide to understanding our purpose and the challenges we face in life. Understanding these forces is a key to navigating our soul's journey and is deeply intertwined with the nature of existence. These teachings are never about being stuck in linear thought, nor about limiting yourself to one system or another. True wisdom lies in synthesis, the ability to integrate knowledge from all fields and see how each informs and completes the others. This multifaceted approach leads to a more profound understanding of self, universe, and the source from which all emanates. But these systems are not merely theoretical. They have practical implications for how we live our lives. If we can begin to see ourselves as an extension of this greater whole, interconnected with all things, from the micro to the macro, we can begin to transcend the limitations of the ego. This is where true transformation lies. To recognize that we are both part of the whole and the whole itself, and to begin to live with that understanding. This is a foundational look at how mystical traditions, science, and philosophy intersect. It's only the start of a much deeper dive into these systems. Let me know if we're on the right track for you. All right, let's keep it moving with part 2. Here we go. Part 2, the deepening of understanding and the cosmic law. In this continuation, we examine the deeper layers of reality, where the sacred and the mundane converge. The mystery schools, from their teachings, invite us to question not only what is seen, but also what is unseen. What is beneath the surface of reality, operating through the fabric of the world, unseen yet profoundly influencing every moment? As we explore this, we move from the metaphysical, which deals with the nature of being and existence, to the practical application of these laws in our own lives. Hermeticism, one of the oldest schools of thought, provides the guiding principles for understanding how reality operates, stating that the all is mind, meaning that everything in existence is a mental creation, an idea that mirrors quantum theories and even the mystical traditions of Taoism and Kabbalah. The Hermetic axiom, as above, so below, reminds us that the laws governing the universe are not confined to the heavens alone. The macrocosm reflects the microcosm, and the way we align ourselves with universal principles governs how we experience reality. This alignment is not passive, it is a dynamic interaction. We influence the world, and the world influences us in a constant dance of cause and effect. Astrology, as a complementary field, provides us with another lens to view these connections. The ancient art of astrology asserts that the positions and movements of celestial bodies have a direct effect on human affairs. The natal chart, a map of the sky at the moment of one's birth, acts as a blueprint for the soul's journey, revealing the challenges and opportunities one is meant to face. The zodiac signs themselves correspond to specific energies that shape our experiences, making astrology a personal, cosmic reflection of the universal. Yet, no matter how much we understand, this knowledge is not enough if it does not inform our actions. Kabbalah teaches us that the path to divine wisdom is not about collecting knowledge, but about applying that knowledge in a way that aligns with the divine will. The Tree of Life symbolizes the journey of the soul through the realms of experience, seeking to return to the source. It is through the refinement of character, the transmutation of our base instincts into higher spiritual qualities, that we align ourselves with the divine. This idea of transformation is reflected in the Buddhist concept of suffering and enlightenment. Suffering is not an obstacle, it is a necessary catalyst for growth. It is through the trials of life, the challenges we face, that we refine ourselves and deepen our connection with the universal. Buddhism teaches that all beings are interconnected and our liberation depends on the liberation of all. As we ascend the spiritual path, we transcend the ego and realize our interconnectedness with all things. This continues the thread of exploring the mystical and esoteric traditions that guide us toward the next. Okay, now part 3. ChatGPT said. Part 3. Integration of mysticism and practical life. Now, as we dive into part 3, let's explore the synthesis of these mystical teachings into practical living. The deep philosophical underpinnings we've discussed are not meant to stay locked away in theoretical realms. These teachings must become part of our daily lives, shaping not only how we see the world, but how we engage with it. The Hermetic axiom, as above, so below, leads us to an essential truth. Our thoughts, our words, and our actions are all part of a grander cosmic flow. We cannot separate the spiritual from the physical, nor should we. Every thought we have, every word we speak, and every action we take is an extension of the cosmic forces that influence the universe. This is where the true power of personal transformation lies, when we align ourselves with the flow of the universe and act from a place of higher understanding. In Kabbalistic thought, this alignment is reflected through the concept of the Sphirot, the 10 attributes through which the divine expresses itself. As we climb the Tree of Life, we engage in an internal process of purification, striving to reflect the divine light in our own lives. To transform is to move beyond mere knowledge and into action, making the invisible visible through our behavior, our choices, and our relationships. This is where Taoism provides an additional layer of wisdom. The Tao, often described as the Way, is an all-encompassing force that flows through all life. Taoism teaches us to live in harmony with this flow, letting go of resistance and allowing things to unfold naturally. It teaches the concept of wu-wei, action through non-action, an essential principle in integrating the mystical into the practical. In other words, we don't need to force things to happen. We must learn to move in tune with the rhythms of life, trusting the process and understanding that we are part of something much larger. This philosophical approach to life has profound implications for how we view our own suffering. As we shift our perspective, we realize that suffering is not something to avoid, but something to embrace. The path of personal growth, spiritual evolution, and wisdom is not without its trials. In fact, it is through the pain and challenges of life that we are offered the opportunity to transform. Buddhism teaches us that we are not the victims of our circumstances, but the creators of our reality. The Buddha's teaching on suffering encourages us to see pain as an opportunity for enlightenment, a way to break free from attachment and the false self. Islam and Christianity also provide insight into this integration of spiritual and practical life. Both traditions emphasize the importance of submission to divine will, whether in the form of the teachings of the Quran or the Sermon on the Mount. Both traditions encourage a life of humility, service to others, and alignment with divine truth. The practice of charity, forgiveness, and compassion are ways to enact these cosmic laws in the material world. In all of these traditions, whether you're talking about the Sufi path in Islam, the mysticism in Kabbalah, the inner transformation taught by Buddhism, or the Taoist way of living, one core principle remains the same: we are here to evolve. The path of the mystic is not one of escapism. It's one of engagement with the world at its most profound level. The goal is not to escape the world's suffering, but to transcend it through higher knowledge, through love, through compassion, and through action. The integration of these teachings calls for a life of balance, a balance between intellect and intuition, between self and other, between stillness and action. To live as a mystic in the modern world is to embrace the paradoxes of life, to hold both the spiritual and the mundane in your hands without trying to force one to eclipse the other. It's about recognizing that everything, from the smallest pebble to the largest galaxy, is a reflection of the same divine essence. In the end, the work is internal. The work is always about transforming yourself, your thoughts, your behaviors, your energies, into something that mirrors the divine principles we've explored. When you live this way, you no longer see the world as separate from you. You see it as a reflection of you. The people, the places, the events, the struggles, they are all a part of your journey, a part of the path to higher understanding. With Part 3, we've now come full circle, connecting the esoteric teachings of the ancient wisdom schools with the everyday practice of living a life of meaning, transformation, and deep connection to the Part 6, the culmination of all. The reflections, thoughts, and wisdom gathered across the previous parts have built a tapestry of your philosophy, vision, and the essence of your being. What we've seen here is more than words, more than concepts. It's an exploration of the mind, the heart, and the soul in the form of fragmented yet cohesive pieces. Each part is a layer, a facet, revealing a truth, or at least a deeper inquiry into the nature of reality. You've touched on many schools of thought, from Taoism, Kabbalah, and Hermeticism, to Christianity, Buddhism, and the struggles of human experience. These ancient teachings have all been explored, sifted, and reframed, not just as knowledge to be understood, but as forces that challenge and provoke. They're put to the test in the forge of your own mind, your life experiences, and your moments of clarity and chaos. The journey of a mystic is rarely linear, and neither is this philosophical treatise. It twists, it turns, it questions and contradicts, pushing the boundaries of what is known and what is felt. As a philosopher, you are not just recounting abstract thoughts. You are living them, breathing them, fighting them, and embracing them. The truths of your life are entangled with the stories of those before you, and the knowledge you've encountered has shaped your very existence. Outro, the final thought. In this moment of reflection, I return to your words. Amen. Let it be so. With this, we reach the end of a path that started with confusion, grew into discovery, and culminated in a powerful statement of acceptance. This treatise, this collection of thoughts and insights, is not just for the world to read, but for you to live. It is not about answers, but about asking the right questions, about understanding that the journey itself is as important as the destination. It is a map of the mind, of the soul, of the human experience. Part 1, the foundation. As a philosopher and mystic, the journey starts with a recognition of the complexity within oneself. The world isn't understood through conventional means, but through a depth of perception that requires the acceptance of paradox, the ability to navigate the gray areas where truth and illusion blur. Each step we take into the realms of Taoism, Kabbalah, and Hermeticism is not about finding definitive answers, but exploring the infinite layers of truth that seem to perpetuate themselves in endless, ever-shifting patterns. Understanding begins when one confronts the deep chasms within. You must grapple with the nature of your own existence and the influences that shape your perceptions. There is no singular path to enlightenment. Instead, there are paths that converge and diverge, drawing upon centuries of teachings from every corner of the globe. Yet, the greatest of these teachings is the one you will uncover within yourself. The key is acceptance, accepting that there is no final answer, that truth lies not in conclusions, but in the asking, in the seeking. The mind must be trained to embrace paradox, to hold opposing ideas at once. It is in that space of conflict and resolution that growth truly happens. Part 2, the middle path. The complexity continues to deepen as we confront the nature of emotion, identity, and being. The anger and lust that seem to define so much of our existence are not enemies, but forces to be understood and harnessed. To reject them outright would be to deny part of the human condition. Instead, we must observe and embrace them as catalysts for understanding. In the ancient mystery schools, this dynamic was often portrayed as a battle within the self, light against dark, will against submission. But these forces are not enemies. They are parts of a single whole, representing the internal struggle that leads to transformation. The key is awareness. The more one becomes aware of these internal forces, the more control one has over them. Everything that happens is, in some form, a reflection of the struggle between these inner forces. Whether it's the pursuit of knowledge or the desire for power, these motivations shape our interactions with the world. Recognizing them within yourself is the first step in transcending them. Part 3. The truth beyond the illusion. Now, we explore the deeper currents of existence. The ultimate truth lies beyond the words we use to describe it. Words are tools, but they are not the essence of reality itself. The deeper truth is felt, experienced, and understood not through intellectualization, but through intuition and personal revelation. There is a distinct difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is the accumulation of facts and information. Wisdom is the application of that knowledge in a way that transcends the intellect. Wisdom connects us to the cosmic flow, to the source of all creation. Wisdom is found in the spaces between thoughts, in the silence that arises when we let go of our need for control. Your journey is one of uncovering this wisdom. It's not about finding an answer, but about exploring the experience of the question itself. And through this process, the true nature of the self is revealed, not as an individual ego, but as part of a greater whole. Part 4. The final transformation. At the conclusion of this exploration, we find the ultimate paradox. While there is nothing to attain, everything is already within reach. The journey you've undertaken is both real and illusionary. It is a journey into the depths of the soul, and yet it is a journey that has no end. In the grand scheme, there is no final destination, no definitive answer to the questions that arise within you. There is only eternal becoming, the ever-changing dance of energy that moves through all things. You have touched on the core truths that transcend time, culture, and belief systems. The ancient teachings of Taoism, Kabbalah, Hinduism, Buddhism, and all the rest serve as mere glimpses of the vast, infinite ocean of knowledge. But in the end, all teachings point to one thing: the awareness that there is no final answer, only the pursuit of understanding. Part 5. The unanswered question. Now, in the final reflection, it becomes clear that no matter how much you search for answers, no matter how deep you go into the mysteries, the journey itself is the answer. There is no final truth to grasp because the truth is ever evolving. You must continue seeking, continue questioning, continue becoming without the attachment to the outcome. This is the paradox of existence. We are always seeking, always learning, but there is never an end. There is only the eternal journey, which is both the destination and the path. And as you reach the conclusion of this treatise, remember, Amen. Let it be so. Part 6. The final thought. The culmination of your thoughts, your exploration, your wisdom, is this final acceptance. All that has been said, all that has been explored, points to the truth of eternal growth. There is no end to the process. As you continue to learn, to evolve, to challenge and question, you will find that each answer only leads to more questions. And that is the beauty of existence, forever seeking, forever becoming, forever unfolding. Amen. Let it be so.